I've got a Raspberry Pi running Raspbmc, an LCD screen, the TFT 3.5 inch from Adafruit, a set of Trustfire lithium-ion rechargeable batteries, the TF 18650 size from China, and a DC step-down regulator from China. The multimeter on the left, you'll see the input voltage right from the battery, 7.87 volts. It started at full charge at 8.31. We have the LCD, because it requires 6 to 12 volts input, connected right to the battery input, so it's getting that 7.88 volts right now to power that LCD screen, and then connected also to the input of the DC step-down converter. The multimeter on the right, 4.93 volts, started straight exactly at 5 volts back when the input voltage was 8.31. That's tunable with the potentiometer like normal. Connected the output to the 5 volt on the Raspberry Pi to give that power, and also to the Raspberry Pi only hooked up the ammeter, which it did already boot up. It's sitting just about the same. That's half an amp about. It didn't really spike, so there's definitely some activity, but just to give you a general idea of the quality there, I'm going to start playing a movie right now that's already loaded on the SD card. There's no network connection to this Raspberry Pi. It just started. You see that. I know it's a horrible analog meter, it's all I've got. Since I'm using the other two for voltage. It's barely moving. Now, if you look at the input and output voltage, you can see that there's a little bit of sway in the output. So under load, this little Chinese step-down power converter module here that you can see here, you know, it's not 100% efficient, obviously, but for like $1 or whatever it was, not too bad. At 4.93, which is pretty low, the Raspberry Pi is still running, so you know, it's definitely still kicking. One of the reasons for this experiment that I'm doing is because this is the first time I've worked with lithium-ion batteries as a source, and you know, I've been doing some reading. I'm not an expert by any means, but as the battery capacity drains in the cells, the voltage of the cells will decrease, hence why I want to see the input and output voltage while I'm putting strain on the system, because if that input source keeps dropping, how is that? Oh, just lost it there. I think my meter might have done it. I haven't changed it. That's what it is. Timed out. How's that going to affect the DC step down? You know, as these cells die, but there's still juice in them. You know, am I going to drop below the Raspberry Pi power? You know, 4.8, 4.7 volts or whatever, where it's going to strain the Raspberry Pi. Really just testing that out. So I'm just going to keep the setup running and keep an eye on the situation. See if anything gets critical or how long it takes to get critical. I should be posting the in the video description, like the output, like what actually happened, durations and stuff like that. Thanks for watching.